Please welcome a player who must now surely be regarded as one of the sport's all-time greats. This season, he is right back to his best, winning 3 big titles, up into the world's top 8 once more. 20 years after his first Crucible semi-final, he's still here going strong, and he says he's determined to enjoy every second of this match, and he will fire it up in his own inimitable style. Here he comes, Mark Williams. And his opponent, a player fast developing a formidable Crucible record. As we've heard, this is his 5th semi-final in the last 6 years. He was in superb form for that emphatic victory over Ding, the tournament favourite, 13-5 in the quarter-finals. Some say his modesty means he doesn't always get the respect his talents deserve. Make no mistake, he is one of the finest in the sport, and he will go for it tonight, because he's the Hawk, Barry Hawkins.
So the opening blow is about to be struck, not just in terms of the frame score, but all the psychological warfare that makes World Championships snooker so special. We've got 2 clear thinkers, though, in the commentary box, and Joe Johnson and Dave Hendon.
Good evening, everyone, from the Crucible here in Sheffield. Yes, the first of 4 sessions, a possible 33 frames between 2 formidable match players.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame.
And just talking to people backstage, opinion split really on who's going to come through. Could be close, I think. Barry Hawkins to get us underway. Barry Hawkins appearing in his 5th World Championship semi-final in 6 years. And Mark Williams in his 6th overall, his first since 2011. Of course, he's won the title twice, but it's 15 years since his 2nd triumph here on the Crucible stage. But Joe Johnson, he's playing snooker that suggests he can go all the way at the age of 43.
Yeah, what a player. Just let him take his shot here. What I find incredible is his coolness at 43, because he's cool. Good reply of safety. I'm so impressed with Mark Williams. I'm so impressed with Barry Hawkins as well. That's some record he's got. All those semi-finals.
Yes, he's never beaten Mark Williams in 5 meetings, but I think all that goes out the window, really, once you get here. This tournament is out on its own. It's a match played over 3 days, so a few best-of-9s that have gone on before, best-of-7s, didn't really come into it.
And they haven't played for 4 years as well, so time to forget about the beatings. And they haven't played over, like you said, they haven't played over a long match. And as Barry said in his interview, he may be giving him too much respect, which he deserves respect, without a doubt.
There's the pot success over the tournament for the 2 of them, both 90%, considering the amount of frames that they played. That's really good. It's a reminder, an annual reminder, that these 2 have already won 36 frames, but to become world champion, they've got to win another 35. So really, we're only halfway through this tournament.
Yeah, I think they've done really well to get to the semis, and then all of a sudden they've got to do the same again. Very difficult. Now, has he left the red to the middle? If he has, I don't think he can get to a colour. So not worth the risk. Another good safety. Now path back to balk. Again, didn't get into the reds fully, and this time he has left a red into the left centre. Can play for black or the blue. Oh, that's a let off. He'll be disappointed with that. That was the chance. You expected him to pot that one. Well, he would have done.
Yeah, it's all about, in the early stages, settling in, isn't it, to the new arena, because, of course, it's completely different now. One of the tables has gone, there's far more room.
It's like being in a different venue completely. Look at that for a picture. So completely different. And Williams can be tempted by that red by the yellow. But he could with that one. Played it in such a way as to hide that red by the yellow, in case he missed it. And hide the one over the pocket as well. Clever shot, that. Just a little bit short of pace.
Yeah, I just spoke before we started to Stephen Hendry, the most successful player here at the Crucible, of course, with 7 titles, and he said what you said, how impressed he's been with just the coolness that Williams has shown. Against Ali Castri, he lost a couple of black ball frames yesterday afternoon, responded both times, just sort of shrugged it all off. And he's cueing superbly as well. We've seen that throughout the whole season.
I think that's one of his greatest qualities, to tell you the truth, to be able to shrug it off and take shots on. Didn't get that one, but took it on. It was a tough black. Not afraid of playing the tough shots. And I think he may have left a red to this right corner. He's trying to block the pocket if he missed it, but missed it by a distance, so that's why black's come away from the pocket. So the first real chance goes to Hawkins.
Yeah, of course, he struggled through the first couple of rounds, really. Had a couple of scares against Stuart Carrington and Lou Hyashin, but he demolished Ding Junhui in the quarterfinals, 13-5. Considering how well Ding had played to beat Anthony McGill, just underlined the quality of Hawkins' play. And also, he's a specialist at getting through to the one table. You know, 5 times in 6 years. It's not a fluke by any means.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, David, it's good to have a tough round match, isn't it? I seem to remember Mark Selby had a tough match in his first round match. The first time he won it. Good to come through them. Not nice to play in them, but good to come through them. Toughened you up.
Yes, he won his semi-final in 2013. Since then, he's lost 3, although he's lost 3, Hawkins this is, to Ronnie O'Sullivan, Sean Murphy and John Higgins.
Nine.
Been coming back into form. He made a bad start to the season. He had off-table issues that he's spoken about, but last couple of months, Welsh Open final, China Open final, so the signs have been there.
$16.
We'd like to take the middle of those reds, if we could. It opens things up a little bit, but not quite got the angle.
17.
And again, choice of shots to play here. Could play the cannon to the left of the pink. Stay on the red to the right corner. That's what he's looking at there. Problem with that shot is if he catches the red first, he's on nothing. So does he play that shot? There's so many shots he can play.
$24.
Just goes.
25.
Now the red may pass the pink into the left middle. Well, the way he's played the shot gave himself chance of 2 reds and finished perfect on this red to the right corner. And that's opened more reds up. Played the aggressive shot there, and he could play another aggressive shot. He could go into the pack again just to hold. Doesn't need to. There's reds he can play for, but if he plays full ball into the red by the pink spot, can't see him not being on the red. Couldn't have played it any better.
Absolutely, this is a lovely little split. Every chance to win the opening frame. Mark Williams took on that very difficult black, left a red on. And okay, it's a 3-day match, 4 sessions, but you want to settle down as quickly as you can by getting a frame on the board. Took Kyron Wilson a while in the first match. Of course, all this is new to him, the one table here at the Crucible.
Thank you. 39.
This was the black that Williams attempted.
Tough black, wasn't it? Under the cushion. And it could cost him the frame. And you know what they say, you don't really settle at the Crucible or any match, for that matter, until you win a frame. There's all kinds of negative things that can go through your mind. Try and keep the positive things in your mind, but the negs do creep in.
That's the thing, there's so much time to think about things because you're playing a match, but there's lots of time between the sessions where, as you say, you can dwell on things, and that time is very important as well. Not just the time you spend on the table, but keeping yourself positive.
Nice little flick on the red. He'd have been on reds without the flick. Just brought him a little closer. And very important that he finishes the game off here. The wrong side of the blue, but he's okay because he's left-handed and he can play this red close to the balk area.
$58. 59.
So 67 points left. Needs another red. Well, he needed one chance. That's all he needed.
64.
There was only 2 or 3 reds out at the time.
Yeah, it's all about laying down markers, isn't it? Mark Williams has already demonstrated he's going to go for his shots, and Barry Hawkins has already demonstrated that if he misses, he's going to look to punish. That's what he's done here. He's made 6 centuries so far in this year's World Championship.
72. $73.
We see it so many times, don't we, where a player is so pumped up and he makes a century in the first frame. Well, even if he doesn't make the century, he still won the frame at one visit.
81. $88.
Brought it off one cushion, sent it towards the other, but that's his favourite side, being left-handed.
Yeah, people say he's underrated. I think it's more that he's understated, Barry Hawkins. He keeps his head down, plays snooker. Doesn't get involved in controversies or anything like that. Got a fantastic technique, though, and a lot of belief as well, clearly. If he was nervous coming out here tonight, he hasn't shown it.
Well, this has settled him down, hasn't it? This is what you need. He got an easy chance, relatively easy chance, when Mark Williams missed the black. But this has been a great break.
Yep, and this black to start this semi-final with a century.
Terrific stuff. And the audience, well, they'll love it.
102.
A century break, the first frame of the session.
$104.
The other thing, of course, is he kept Williams cold in his seat, apart from that early chance he had. He's just been sat watching.
Thank you. 107.
They're matches within matches, these longer contests, and you're looking to win each session. If you do that, you'll win the match. So Hawkins looking for an advantage this evening. He's made a dream start.
$116. $122.
Just terrific. Just needed that chance when Williams missed the black. He's cleared the table very impressively with a break of 129. That is the way to start a semi-final here at the Crucible. Great start for the Englishman. He leads Mark Williams. So Barry Hawkins has won the opening frame in fine style against Mark Williams here. Second semi-final, the World Snooker Championship. John Higgins 5-3 up against Karen Wilson in the first.
Second frame. Mark Williams to break.
Leo Scullion, who's refereeing his
Quietly,
third
please.
World Championship semi-final, calls for order, ready for frame 2.
Good speed on the cue ball. Yeah, it was a possible plant. He looked at it. He doesn't want the full ball kiss. Now, can he see this red to the right corner? Anxious looks there from Barry Hawkins. Good attempt. Played it with safety in mind. Now, can he see enough of this red to the left corner? I think he can. I'm right behind the shot. Oh, he'd overcut it for a moment, but that's a great kiss on the red. And then another one on the yellow. Leaves him perfectly on the green. I thought he'd overcut this. Look at this. Far angle, kiss on the red, kiss on the yellow. Bob's your uncle. Playing for the red above the black.
4.
But on lots of reds the way he played it.
5.
Now, he could have done with being low on the black, so he could have given that red a nudge. Not sure if he's got the angle to play that shot. Yep, he has. Just a little nudge. And that clears the black spot. And again, he's in business, and we know he's cueing well.
12. 13.
Right down at the bottom of the cue ball. Touch of left-hand side on the cue ball. It's called reverse side.
20.
You would expect to put right-hand side on the cue ball, but no, you put left on and it reverses.
There's no doubt that at his best he's a very heavy scorer. When he won the World Grand Prix last season in the final, he made 5 centuries to beat Ryan Dane. Could have had a couple more. Just flawless in that spell of scoring.
Well, without a doubt, David is World Championship material.
20.
Well good enough to win this tournament. But unfortunately, so are the other 3.
29.
When he takes this red, it releases another one to the left corner. Makes it easy to get onto.
35.
Important to leave a nice angle on the black each time, to be able to manoeuvre the cue ball from whichever red he decides to play on. You leave the black a little bit more difficult, but at least you can get good position. And may be able to give the reds a little nudge here to play on the black or the blue. And there's nothing he can do at the moment. He played the cut on the red.
43.
Overcut it, left it on. And at the moment, all he needs to do is give him a sniff of a chance. Inch perfect with his position. Enough loose reds to win the frame at this visit. There's a red that will go to the other corner. Nicely on the black, so he's got choice of reds.
Well, there's his wife Tanya and their son Harrison. Watching very proudly, and I'm sure rather nervously too. They'll be pleased with the start he's made, though.
58. $59.
Well, looking at the possibility of a plant, but he needs to play for that loose red, really. Make sure of the frame. Well played for the plant. There's distance between these two.
66.
No problem.
This frame ball.
Well, could very well be another century. 2 on the bounce to open a semi-final. Doesn't get any better than that if he does do it.
2 snookers needed by Mark Williams,
74.
who hasn't really had much of a look in yet tonight. So the break ends at 74. Williams is thinking about whether to play on.
74.
2 snookers. He's not had a lot of table time. Maybe worth coming to the table.
I agree. Just to get the feel of things. Two snookers or a free ball. Very unlikely that he's going to lose this frame, Hawkins, but what he has done is given Williams a chance to play a few shots. Could have done without that. Looking at this plant again. Unexpected. Well, this is what he's looking at. Needs to play it just a little bit thicker. Try and make the plant. Well, we never thought about the 3-ball plant. I'm sure he didn't. And we're pleased with that one.
Mark Williams sits down again. This frame's gone. Williams has potted 1 ball tonight so far.
Barry Hawkins, 5. And the frame.
So Williams concedes. The Hawk has taken flight early here this evening. Breaks of 129 and 74. He holds the early advantage. He leads 2-0. Welcome back. Mark Williams just left the arena, having been hit by the full force of Barry Hawkins' first 2 frames. 129.74. Queuing superbly early on. Sometimes it takes a while to settle down, but not for Barry Hawkins tonight. He's hit the ground running. Mark Williams has taken a couple on, missed them and been punished. Simple as that. If he can get in, of course, he's more than capable of doing the same, but at the moment Hawkins, clearly the happier of the 2. This is the first of 4 sessions spread over 3 days. 17 frames needed to reach the World Snooker Final.
Thank you. Thank you. The 3rd frame. Barry Hawkins to break.
It's a real snooker festival feel around Sheffield. I was walking around earlier and people looking at the big screen following the Higgins-Wilson match outside in Tudor Square, and all the Betfred World Championship signs, even at the train station, all around the city. It becomes a snooker city this time of the year. And we get a lot of visitors from all around the world who make the annual pilgrimage. They all say the same thing when they're here for the first time. I can't believe it's so small.
An intimate, fantastic arena.
One to the right of the pink. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just asking the referee to confirm that he can see the red to the left of the pink, just in case he misses the ball. caught it too thick.
Oh, Barry Hawkins for.
And he's left a chance. Well, the way he's queuing, Barry Hawkins, you'd fancy him for this red. Oh, that was the chance. And he's left a half chance for Williams to the baulk corner. Yeah, good pot. After what's just happened to him, that's a good pot. So, chance. Only 3 or 4 reds out.
It's the 53rd match he's played at the Crucible, and it's 20 years since he was first in the semi-finals here. He would be the oldest champion for 40 years if he won it.
9.
Well, just under hit that one. Didn't really want to be this far away from the blue. But he could just hold the cue ball for this red. Now, if you can leave an angle on the blue or one of the baulk colours to open the reds.
15.
Not an easy pack to go into from there. He may come down for that red behind the black. No, that's very, very unfortunate. And he's left a red on. He couldn't have envisaged that happening. Pink went in off the red's luck. Yeah, you couldn't legislate for that. Very unfortunate. And to make matters worse, Barry Hawkins in again.
Nine.
Well, he's got various reds he could play for. Also got the option of going into the reds and trying to win the frame at this visit. Now, is he on a red to the right middle? It's not an easy one, and he would have expected to have something easier than this, that's for sure. Doesn't have to take it on, of course.
Barry Hawkins, 16.
Well, Williams will be pleased that he's back to the table. didn't take the red on. The white was close, but very little chance of going in off. But because he caught it just a little bit full, he may have left the red on to the right middle. That's a real let-off. That wasn't difficult at all. He may have been afraid of the in-off into the corner. It would have been close, because he'd have hit it thinner. That is a superb shot from Mark Williams. He thought long and hard about taking that red on because it was so difficult, and he knew he was leaving reds on, and he missed it. Superb shot. Could have played that one better.
4.
Wanted the red to the right corner. Another good rest player, Mark Williams. Contemplating giving them a nudge. But that red below the pink, I think it goes to the left corner. Could stump past them for the red behind the black. He's got all sorts of shots that he can play. Well, I think this is a good choice of shot because he can give the reds a little nudge and be on the pink or black. Just develop them. There you go.
12.
Now they're all there for the taking. And it's just a matter now of holding himself together to try and get a frame on the board. And then he can settle.
Well, his temperament during this championship has been exemplary. As I say, when Ali Carter stole a couple in yesterday's quarter-final, he responded as if nothing had happened.
Yeah, that's the good thing about this championship, isn't it? When it gets down to the semi-finals, everybody's playing at the peak of their ability. Which means that we
25.
and you at home all in for a treat.
26.
But it's little things like this where, you know, he's got to win the frame at this visit for me. Just for his own confidence. And he didn't play that one well at all. So much so, I'm not sure which red he played for there. Just got into the cue ball too much. And now he's looking at the possibility of a plant, a 3-ball plant. Well, hold on here. What about that? And he had to make this plant. It was to the top angle, look. So he had to hit that second red. Spot on to get that plant. Cool as a cucumber. I've always wanted to know, a cucumber's cold. Because
Well,
he's cool.
Well, this isn't QI, but the phrase suggests they are.
He hasn't finished perfect on either ball here. Getting the extension now, so these two reds just below the pink. And he'll settle for that. Had he played it harder,
47.
he wouldn't have been on the reds as nicely as this. Well, he's okay. He could have done with being a little straighter. Makes the red easier, but should be able to get on it. Needed to play it with a touch of left-hand side on the cue ball.
33 in front, so he needs 2 of the 3 reds. Now,
just got to be accurate here with this positional shot. And what a beautiful little shot that was, just dropping the black in dead weight. And he's on this red to the right corner. And as David said, just the red needed.
Well, it's that word again, isn't it? Cool. That's what Mark Williams is. And he needed this visit. He needed to get involved just for his own peace of mind. He's made a nice frame-winning break.
Yeah, just asked a question of himself there at the beginning of this break. Had to do what Barry Hawkins was doing, win the frame at one visit. And already this match is turning out to be good.
68.
We've only been going 39 minutes.
70.
Hawkins has made 2 sizable breaks himself. Here's the little under the body shot that Mark Williams plays every now and again.
73.
The crowd like that, and here it comes again, just in case you missed it. How does he do that? He's not amused.
No, Hawkins preparing for the next frame. This one's gone by, but great standard already between these two this evening.
82.
Here we are. A hat trick, is it? It is.
88.
The black stays out. A fine 88, though, from Mark Williams to arrive in the semi-final. It's been an excellent start in terms of the standard between these two. Williams on the scoreboard. Hawkins leads 2-1. So we have one more frame before the first interval in this semi-final. Mark Williams has pulled one back with that fine 88. He trails 2-1.
Frame 4. Mark Williams to break.
Yeah, not the best break-off from Mark Williams there. Leaving this long red out to the right corner. Oh, and a let-off. That's the shot that the players practice so much, so that's why they get so many of these shots. Play that shot so much. Both sides of the table. Now a chance for Williams, and you expect them to get them. Tough shots, but look where the cue ball is. He expected to pot that. Didn't play it as a shot to nothing. Kept that cue ball out of the balk area.
It's one of the things that's made the difference this season, the consistency of his long potting. It's been a little inconsistent in previous years, but like you say, you just expect him to knock them in, and he is doing.
Now, I think he'll leave a nice angle on the blue here.
5.
To try and open the reds. And it could have been better than that. May have to come around the two cushions with a lot of topspin and right-hand side on the cue ball. Yep. Nicely done. Is he on anything? I don't think so.
Okay.
It was the shot previous, though, when he stunned the red in and he didn't get high enough on the blue. He wanted to go into them and hit the pink full on, but he didn't send the cue ball far enough. Still, he was unfortunate because he went into them with pace. He could have been on one. And again, the cue ball not close enough to the cushion. Hasn't left a red on, but it's easy to play the safety when you can get your hand on the table. Well, there's applause, but I think this red is on to the right corner. May have to play it with a touch of left-hand side on the cue ball, which adds difficulty to the pot. Or he could just leave the cue ball on the black cushion. He doesn't like it. Well, that was the danger. He didn't play it with any side, so put all his eggs in one basket. Had to get it. Good chance this for Hawkins.
One.
So it looks like the black's tied up, although I don't know, it may go. But he can concentrate on the pink and blue with all those reds around it. And the way he's been playing, you'd expect him to score heavy here.
Eight. $14. 15.
Well, these reds queuing up to be potted into the left corner. And easy to get back to the pink.
$21.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan said that if you want a ball to more or less guarantee a break, the pink's the ball because it's going into an open pocket. The black's only going into half a pocket type of thing.
22.
Didn't come straight enough on the pink, so may take that red to the left middle.
$28. 29.
Well, those three reds then are just below the pink. There's one red that will go to the right corner. If he could get on that red, I'm not sure if he can do it this time, but if he could get on that red, it releases the other two to the left corner.
35.
25 points in front.
36.
Just thinking here we are in a best of 33, but arguably the start of Barry Hawkins' great run came the exact opposite tournament, the Shootout 2012. He won that event in Blackpool. A lot of fun, a lot of noise. And takes some winning. You've got to stand up to the pressure and think quickly. He won that, and then later in the year, he won his first ranking title in Australia. And since then, we've seen him in many finals, picking up titles and going deep in particularly this World Championship. Nothing like getting a trophy of any sort on the mantelpiece to give you confidence.
$43.
Yeah, just looking at that red now, that suggested. Took the easy ones. Cleared the way for the cue ball to go anywhere now. Well, preferred to play the cannon. I'm surprised he played that shot. He could have just played a little screw for the red
49.
into the right corner. It did go, as you can see. But played the cannon, and it's gone wrong. Just the life that Williams was looking for.
Yeah, massive reprieve for the Welshman. He's looking down the barrel of a 3-1 deficit there for sure. 39 points in the frame then.
Well, some
Quietly,
players
please.
like to play cannons and develop reds, but I'm one for playing for the red if it goes. And especially the way that one did. It released the other ones to the left corner. Now he's left with a little bit of a problem here. Does he take that long red on to the left corner, or play the safety and possibly leave it on? Big shot. That's a great shot.
Screwing the cue ball out of trouble.
And deserved to be better on the blue. He can still pot it, but what a shot that was. He can still pot the blue, but the green could be in the way. And the green could be in the way if he takes the yellow. So not straightforward this by any means. He can pop both the yellow and the blue. Look at the average frame time, 13 minutes. This isn't easy. Had to put more into the cue ball to avoid the green, and look at the cue ball. He couldn't have played that any better. And now every chance of taking the 3-1 lead. And that's all down to that positive shot he got in with.
4.
And the thing is that when you take on a red like he did do, that long red, you feel so confident afterwards if those type of balls go in.
10. 11.
50 points the difference, so just this pink. And he's been good for the 3-1 lead.
He's been very impressive. He's looked really good in himself right from the off when he made the century in the first frame. Got that early chance, took it out well, settled into the match, going for his shots, getting them. It's a great start for him. Mark Williams won the third frame with a break of 88. Terrific start. We've only been going 52 minutes just about.
24.
The end of this match seems a long way away. Saturday night is the scheduled end. But you're looking
25.
to win the sessions, win the mini sessions, just keep the other guy at arm's length.
$32. Barry Hawkins, 32.
He's missed that one, but he's done enough. A great start for Barry Hawkins. Excellent snooker all round. He started with a century. He had a 74 as well. Mark Williams, an 88 in the third. But it's Barry Hawkins, clearly the happier of the two, as they head off to the dressing rooms, because he's leading 3-1.
Well, I did say this would be like the early rounds of a boxing match that would go all the way. I should have said heavyweights. The blows raining down early, but the chin's strong enough to take them. And 3 lightweights waiting in the studio for you for the mid-session. Foles, White and Selby are ready. Sat down, we put our dinner out, and before we knew it, we were grabbing the napkins to get back in here, and Barry came out. We said he was all business, and he meant business.
Didn't he start well, you know? I mean, the way that he started in frame one with a century, looked like he was going to make back-to-back hundreds, but he just carried on where he left off, you know, against Ding Junhui. You know, he was brilliant in that match. There's a similarity between the two players. They're unflappable, aren't they? And they're not only just the left-handers, but like you say, they're both just get on with the job. They're consummate match players again.
It's absolutely right. Whereas earlier, they felt like there was a lot more psychologically in that first session between Karen Wilson and John Higgins. Here, it's almost like any second they're going to get up, go to a bar, buy a pint, put 50p in the meter, Mark.
Well, especially Mark Williams. He's like so laid back, he just looks like he's playing in his front room with his slippers on, don't he? But as Neil said, Barry couldn't have asked for a better start. He'd have been looking at 3-1, but the way he's done it is you're going to get a lot of confidence from that.
Yeah, Jimmy, first frame, then let's have a look. A 1-2-9. That's how you start a semi-final. When you've been to 5 in the last 6 years, you've only won 1 of them.
Yeah, Mark here. I'm not too sure about this shot. No. You know, it's the first, like, he's potted a red. You know, I think he just should have played safe there.
Yeah, he should have bit the bullet, yeah.
But this is showing how well Hawkins is cueing. He's screwed that in reverse side, absolutely perfect on that red. Goes on to make a century. Great break.
Very, very solid ball striker, isn't he? I mean, I think you made that point earlier, Mark. Yeah. You know, he is actually, you don't think of him as in a great technique, but you know, he very rarely decelerates. Very solid striker.
Yeah, I mean, it's so repetitive. He does the same every single shot, so his timing's the same more or less all the while. Well,
he repeated winning the frame in frame 2. It was a 72, not quite one visit snooker, but at this stage, Mark Williams has been sitting in a seat for most of his semi-final. He wants to get in at the table, and he did get a few shots in at the end of frame 2, and he bounced back in frame 3 eventually.
Because he's unlucky in frame 3. You might think this is not going to be my day. Now, he's got to be unlucky here, Jim, and he's not the pinky.
Yeah, he's hit that, you know, he's hit the apex red, which was the pink, which should have split them up, and it's gone off a red and gone in off. Me and Mark and Neil are not too sure about this shot, because whatever happens leaving the cue ball there, he's going to leave the red over the middle.
It'd be better off probably going for the pot. It takes the white ball wider, closer to the black, so you don't leave this red. I mean, that's a bad miss by Barry. You didn't expect him to miss that. But then, after he did miss that, he's not left Mark an easy shot. This is an horrible shot across the table, rolling it in. But he's potted so many of these during the championship, you know. That's what he was renowned for when he was at his peak many years ago.
It's the kind of shot that people might not know how difficult that is. A horrid shot to be playing. And then he's playing all kinds of shots now.
Yeah, he played a bad black before there. He was quite lucky to be left the plant, and he went on to win the frame. But, you know, he really did need to do that because Hawkins was solid.
You've crossed paths with Mark Williams most of this tournament, have you? Either sitting here, Neil, or in the commentary, watching every single shot and comment on. And he's knocking in shots that are so difficult and making them look easy in every match.
There were spells yesterday when he played as well as he played in Berlin, when he beat Graham .9, when he looked invincible that day, and there's signs that he's near that form. But he is 3-1 down, as we know, but you know, he won't worry about that because he doesn't worry about stuff, he just plays. Yeah,
and I think Barry will be in there not getting carried away either. As he won this 4th frame, he would have taken it with a pinch of salt, but again, what a brilliant start.
For me, this is like, you know, once again, I know he's full of confidence and he's long pot and he's as best it's been for like 20 years or something, but there wasn't a lot of value in that shot. He was no guarantee to get on the colour, was he, Mark?
No, he pushed the boat out a little bit. This is a fantastic shot by Barry. I mean, just proves how well he's cueing. I mean, if that can't give you confidence, nothing will.
Yeah.
Another great shot here with the rest on the yellow. You know, I thought he was just going to play it plain ball. He decided to screw it round off of 3 cushions and perfect on the red.
Absolutely. Hawkins has properly came out swinging. He's left Mark Williams on his backside for most of the first 4 frames, but they go toe-to-toe for 4 more when we came back. And before that, we'll hear from Ronnie O'Sullivan in the belly of the Crucible.